Amelia Earhart, the plane that vanished without a trace July 2nd, 1937. The world's most famous female pilot is only hours away from completing a journey nobody thought possible. She's flown across continents. She's crossed vast oceans. And now, history is within reach. Then her radio goes silent. Search planes find nothing. Search ships find nothing. No distress call. No confirmed wreckage. No answers. Nearly 90 years later, we still don't know exactly what happened. But what investigators discovered decades later may have changed everything. Because hidden among the waves, scattered across remote islands, and buried beneath layers of history, are clues that continue to fuel one of the greatest aviation mysteries ever recorded. Tonight, we're uncovering the disappearance of Amelia Earhart, a mystery that refuses to die. And before this story ends, you'll hear a discovery that caused some experts to question everything they thought they knew. But first, we need to understand who Amelia Earhart really was. Long before she vanished, Amelia Earhart was already a global icon. Born in 1897, she grew up during a time when aviation itself was still new and dangerous. Most people saw airplanes as experimental machines. Many believed women had no place flying them. Amelia disagreed. The moment she experienced flight, she became fascinated. Flying wasn't just a hobby. It became her obsession. She worked tirelessly to earn money for lessons. She studied aircraft. She practiced relentlessly. Soon, she was setting records. Then, she accomplished something that made international headlines. In 1928, she became the first woman to cross the Atlantic Ocean by airplane. A few years later, she did something even more extraordinary. She became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. The world was captivated. Newspapers celebrated her. Young women admired her. Millions viewed her as a symbol of courage and determination. Yet Amelia wanted more, much more. She wanted to complete a journey no woman had ever achieved. She wanted to fly around the world, not on an easy route, not along short distances. Around the entire planet, nearly 47,000 kilometers. It would be one of the most ambitious aviation adventures ever attempted, and it would become her final mission. In 1937, Amelia and her navigator Fred Noonan set off aboard a specially modified Lockheed Electra. The aircraft had been designed for long-distance flights and equipped with extra fuel capacity. The journey was incredibly challenging. Weather conditions changed constantly. Mechanical issues threatened progress. Navigation over remote regions required precision. Yet, despite every obstacle, they kept moving forward. They crossed South America, Africa, Asia, island after island, ocean after ocean, and eventually, after weeks of flying, only a small portion of the journey remained. One final stretch across the Pacific Ocean. One destination stood between Amelia and history. A tiny speck of land known as Howland Island. Finding it would be incredibly difficult. Imagine Imagine searching for a tiny dot in the middle of an ocean that covers millions of square kilometers. That was their challenge, and what happened next would shock the world. But before we reach that moment, there's one detail many people don't realize. The final leg of the journey was considered one of the most dangerous parts of the entire mission. If anything went wrong, there would be almost nowhere to land, nowhere to seek help, only endless ocean. On July 2nd, 1937, Amelia and Fred departed from New Guinea. Their destination was Howland Island. The flight was expected to take approximately 20 hours. At first, everything appeared normal. Radio operators received updates. The aircraft continued toward its destination. Then problems began to emerge. Communication became difficult. Weather conditions complicated navigation. Most concerning of all, Amelia reported difficulty locating Howland Island. As the hours passed, concern grew. Fuel was being consumed. The island remained unseen. Then came one of the most haunting messages in aviation history. We must be on you, but cannot see you. Think about those words. They believed they were close, perhaps incredibly close. Yet they couldn't find the island. Somewhere below was safety. Somewhere below was the next step toward history. But they couldn't see it. A short time later came another transmission. Amelia indicated they were flying north and south, searching for the island, looking, hoping, trying desperately to find land before fuel ran out. Then suddenly, silence. No mayday call, no emergency transmission, no explanation, just silence. Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan had vanished. What happened next triggered one of the largest search efforts in history, and what investigators failed to find became almost as shocking as the disappearance itself. The United States launched an enormous search operation. Ships combed the Pacific. Aircraft scanned thousands of square kilometers. Military personnel searched remote islands. Millions of dollars were spent. Days became weeks. Search crews looked everywhere, yet they found nothing. No life raft, no luggage, no confirmed aircraft wreckage, no trace of Amelia Earhart. It was as though the Pacific Ocean had swallowed the entire aircraft whole. Eventually, the search was called off. Officially, Amelia Earhart was presumed lost at sea. But for many people, that explanation wasn't enough. Questions remained, and over the decades, those questions evolved into theories. Lots of theories. The most widely accepted theory is also the simplest. Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan became lost while searching for Howland Island. Unable to locate it, they eventually ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific Ocean. The aircraft sank into deep water and has remained hidden ever since. Many aviation historians consider this the most likely explanation, but not everyone agrees, because decades later, investigators discovered something that reignited the mystery. On a remote island called Nikumaroro, researchers uncovered artifacts that some believe could be connected to Amelia Earhart. Pieces of metal, tools, evidence suggesting human activity. The findings generated enormous interest. Could Amelia have survived a landing and spent time on a remote island? Could the world's most famous missing pilot have lived longer than anyone realized? The evidence remains controversial. Some experts believe the clues are significant. Others remain unconvinced. Yet, the possibility continues to fascinate investigators. And then, there's the theory that refuses to disappear, the Japanese capture theory. According to this claim, Amelia Earhart landed in territory controlled by Japanese forces and was captured. Over the years, books, documentaries, and researchers have explored this idea. While most historians argue there is insufficient evidence to support it, the theory remains popular because it offers an alternative explanation to the traditional crash scenario. And whenever a mystery remains unsolved, speculation thrives. Some theories become even more dramatic. Secret government missions, hidden identities, massive cover-ups. Most lack credible evidence. Yet people continue searching for answers because one critical piece of the puzzle is still missing. The airplane itself. Without the wreckage, uncertainty survives. Even today, expeditions continue. Using advanced sonar technology, underwater drones, and deep-sea exploration equipment, searchers are still searching for evidence of Amelia Earhart's final flight. Several discoveries have generated excitement. Some appeared promising. Some made international headlines. Yet none have conclusively solved the mystery. Not yet. And that is why Amelia Earhart's disappearance continues to captivate the world. This isn't merely a story about a missing airplane. It's a story about courage, adventure, determination, and humanity's desire to push beyond known limits. Amelia Earhart set out to make history, and she succeeded. Her disappearance became one of the most enduring mysteries ever recorded, a puzzle that has survived generations. Somewhere beneath the Pacific Ocean, the answer may still exist, hidden in darkness, waiting to be found. Or perhaps the truth has already been lost forever. But until definitive evidence emerges, the mystery remains alive. Now, it's your turn. What do you think happened to Amelia Earhart? Did she crash into the Pacific Ocean after running out of fuel? Did she survive on a remote island? Or do you believe another theory entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every theory. And if you enjoy unsolved mysteries, lost expeditions, historical disappearances, and true stories stranger than fiction, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the next mystery may be even more unbelievable than this one. And unlike Amelia Earhart's final flight, its ending might be even harder to explain.